So again, definitely expecting some big things out of them, but curious to see if Noble can keep up the upsets, as we are seeing 100 Thieves very quickly launching into some type of pressure at Stewards, but also getting into middle, into B, and Asuna's already through a link.
Unreal. How are you here? But oh, they've read this really good flash to isolate the kill. So 4v4 situation, but yeah, like you mentioned, 100 Thieves very aggressive. Noble was trying to do the exact same thing. They meet head on over towards A, and the spike will be planted.
Yeah, they heard the dash because they had a player in the back of B side, so they're able to double through and catch that from Asuna. But again, still a post plant for 100 Thieves, and they're on equal footing with their opponent as far as man count goes. They have a great cam in place to watch Heaven. That's a big kill from ZK.
This retake going to be much easier. Nitro, Paranoia, beautifully placed, but Payan expects the challenge. Finds the kill, no problem. Now on the way in, Steel able to only find one elimination. Ethan also dropping, and the retake from Noble, 100% clean, only dropping one in the 4v3 situation.
Yeah, that was really well done from Noble. ZK catches an early kill to give them the man advantage as they decide to go ahead and follow through. A great star placement. I believe that was under Heaven, which caused a bit of a disturbance for Nitro here, as well as their Cypher. You know, Steel was just having to kind of hide inside of his cage and peek out and try to help out Ethan, but just overwhelmed by numbers at that point coming through the low side. And so you are able to see a big victory there from Noble on that retake. They're going to Spectre up across the table. Steel will get a share of everyone else looking to full buy next round, so not looking to spend any credits here, as they're all just gearing up to go for, I guess, a long C play. Just send it, I suppose.
Hammond, Trapwire here, +2 players, and Payan, I'm sure, is going to see this. ZK over the top does get revealed. 100 Thieves have made their way on. Flashes coming out. Both players caught on reload. Noble will not find barely even a shred of damage on the hold. B-Dog, an initial trade, but still for 100 Thieves, successful plant and a very doable 4v3 with a couple of weapons collected.
Yeah, absolutely. Those weapons being collected means everything, plus man advantage. They are low on health, though, on a couple of their players, but it doesn't seem to matter as Steel puts the Sheriff to work.
Third player caught on reload. Precision now left with what would be a 1v3. Both players are tagged low, and they're actually lined up at the moment. Precision checks right, doesn't see anybody, finds the elimination. 1v1. And it's down to the timing of the play. Precision, ring around the Rosie, has to go for the defuse, and slipping the net for a time is going to be Nitro, but Precision gets off the defuse, finds Nitro, and Noble clutch up again.
I thought Nitro had that dead to rights when he did the ring around the Rosie on the sight boxes. Thought he was going to have him for sure, especially with Precision also taking a lot of damage throughout all that, but Precision just holds on. That's such a costly round, though, if you're Noble. To almost lose to one Sheriff and utility, that would have been devastating, but they do get it done. They go up 2-0, but again, look at what it's done to their economy. They have to come into this with Sheriffs, a Bucky, you know, 100 Thieves coming in full rifled up. They know that they can instantly tie up this match if they get through this round. Again, looking to set up something kind of heavy-handed towards C, and we saw the power of this comp on the C attack with those sky flashes.
Oh, shorty play from Payan. Around the corner, not going to get the full kill onto Ethan. Precision there to actually stall off the play a little bit further, considering that he finds a separate kill. So 100 Thieves are going to back away from their initial push, and Noble, 4v4, they could still fight this back.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, 100 Thieves don't really have any intel anywhere else on the map. Yeah, they had some trap wires in place to kind of watch for the A push, but they don't know what's going on at middle, for instance, which, as we can see, Precision has pushed deep into this position. And so it's going to be tough for 100 Thieves. Yeah, they do have the firepower advantage, and yeah, this Owl drone could be massive, as it is going to spot Precision out. He tries to push through, but Nitro's there to collect, so you can understand the desperation push, but it gets caught by 100 Thieves nonetheless. Now they're up a man.
And that is also one of the weapons collected down back mid-map. So these last 3 players for Noble will be dealing with whatever they came into the round with. Nitro taking over the angle, misses an opportunity to find Leviathan. Steel was there to get at least some confirmation of damage, but again, the star placements for ZK have been really good. It's going to allow them a chance to maybe even work their way in for initial contest, but they reconsidered. And ZK was actually also thinking about maybe giving this weapon over to B-Dog, who's still on a Bucky. Leviathan in the back, walks on in, at least initially, and doesn't fully commit to this. ZK has been revealed by Spycam, and Noble, are they just going to play for exits?
Interesting thought. I guess you just try to roll these weapons forward and try it again because you know your money's low anyway. I guess.
I mean, they should have the accommodative full purchase next round. So
Yeah, I don't. I mean, their money is really bad. I don't. Maybe they do want a couple of guys to hold on. At least the Spectre.
well, they're going to get the point of contact that they want. ZK gets one, nearly a chance at a second. B-Dog responds, and it looks like they have actually collected a Phantom, but now they're playing for the push-through for the exit kills. A bit puzzling to be sure, so Noble opt to not play for the retake. Nitro will find 4 in the round, and a look back at the Red Bull clutch from just a couple of rounds ago where Noble, their retakes have been so good, and that's why I think it's a bit surprising to not see them go for it again.
Yeah, Precision had such an uphill climb here. 1v3. Yeah, there was low HP, but he himself here only at 14 in his final encounter, but able to time it out perfectly there onto Nitro. That was a big hat trick to, you know, basically save the day on what would have been a very dire situation had they lost that. As 100 Thieves are now on the board with the round. They have a great chance to keep on trucking. B-Dog, though, catching Asuna early.
Wow.
Gets a bit more as well and gets to read on the positioning.
You did have Nitro commit to the From the Shadows, so he's taking control of Heaven and has found a run-and-gun headshot onto Leviathan. Considering maybe Shrouding stepping away from this position, but really no need to relinquish it at the moment. Precision is still alive, a part of this. Trailblazer will scout about and actually get the stun.
Big.
A huge connection. 100 Thieves now take a massive advantage over the A site. 3v2. Payan trying to retake. Heaven. Nitro has alleviated the position and conceded it. So maybe an opportunity for Noble to get something set up. Payan has seen Ethan around the corner. ZK nearly baited out by the fake flash, but still turns his attention. Paranoia comes through to now be the next level of distraction, and Noble are really in a headache of a position when it comes to what do you use to even try to get back into the site. Someone's going to have to win a gunfight. Payan's snagged down to 51 HP, and as ZK falls, Payan's just going to back away.
Yeah, and that's such a tough pill to swallow if you're Noble because you feel like you did everything right early on. You got the double kill at long A. You had the rotation perfectly. You had man advantage, but such a great use of Trailblazer from Ethan to clear out sewers. Hiko off the back of it will get the frag. Then they are able to secure the site. Obviously, Nitro a big piece of that as well, getting that initial entry on A with the ult in Heaven. And honestly, this is just the power of the Sky Sova combo. You have so much info gathering capability, plus you have the flashes to help set up Asuna on the jet to dash in, as well as the other players following up. Like Nitro, once he puts his smokes down, he's free to be kind of that other entry fragger next to Asuna, to help get things done, right? And so they're layering their utility really well here. And 100 Thieves has always been known for having good tactics, having a very capable IGL and Steel, but also having someone like Nitro, who's also called in the past, being on this team. They also, next to Sentinels, have often been touted as like one of the most skilled rosters man for man in the region. So they definitely have just a lot of weapons available to them and starting to hit their stride here on their attacking side.
This early point of contact through A long has really adjusted both teams off the rip what they want to do. That time it's going to be Leviathan opening up some space for him to get the Hunter's Fury earned. Trailblazer nearly connects again.
That dog was doing a board slide in front of him there. Like, that was a really weird animation. That was quite good. But no, and the thing is, Steel has always been very comfortable with his timings as like that lurk at A and mid side or setting up, these A pushes. And now that Astra's stars take time before they can activate early round, it allows Steel to kind of get back to that again without feeling the threat of getting, hit by a grab well or something along those lines, as we do see them just, again, paving the way into this A site for yet another 5-on-5 retake situation with not much firepower available to Noble.
No, just really Hunter's Fury, and almost the connection on the Steel does convert. Okay, hold the phone a second. The spike never gets fully planted. 100 Thieves have kind of backed away from the site, leaving Asuna essentially by themselves. Finally, they're going to come back to the play, but there are resources here where Noble could still contest, including a showstopper. That could be kill potential. That could allow them to retake. On the way in, though, they stack. Ethan and Nitro combined for 3. ZK by himself. Not much they could do from that position, and Precision, no reason not to go for this, but is going to be stuck realistically in the corner. Does flash himself forward, but Hiko, playing the passive angle, gets the response kill, and 100 Thieves win 3 in a row.
Yeah, there was definitely a chance for Noble when they stopped that initial plant. They had the advantage. They had, the Hunter's Fury come in huge for them there. But the drone was never really able to get out of A Heaven and get any intel on the site. And then as soon as they tried to pounce, 100 Thieves were able just to line up massive amount of fragging all at once. Now they come into this equal footing when it comes to ults. You know, both Seekers are in play.
Let's go.
Neural Theft obviously can be huge for Steel if they can get a pick. Then the Showstopper also could be a big tool to take space or using some type of retake as against the long C attack.
Asuna over the top of the trap wire. Payan not really sure where he went to. Oh my goodness, head on a swivel, but couldn't lock anybody down, and Asuna reaps the rewards. 2 kills into the site they go. C has completely been taken, and that should lead to a plant, although not committing to it initially was Nitro. Now finally puts it down, and Steel mid-map just lurking. Very well could get rewarded with a free kill here on the B-Dog. Here comes the peak, but B-Dog does keep things interesting. 3v4 we go.
Trailblazer clearing out the garage for a second. I like how I was just chilling there for a second, just not moving, and then it just kind of jumps forward. But yeah, it's a great tag onto Nitro. Paint Shell comes in, but Asuna continues to wreak havoc with these daggers, and now Noble does have to just kind of bite the bullet and back up, save these weapons. They are starting to fall behind. Economy's starting to run dry. Definitely need to carry these over. Asuna, this is so cool seeing him on the Jet. It's definitely kind of new to see him playing this agent, but you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me the way that... Yeah, well, he might ace here, actually. Though I guess the opposing raise is definitely not going to allow that to happen. He's way out of position. But what I was getting at is a lot of times you obviously see the Jet in the hands of a very capable opper. Like in North America, you think of guys like Wardell. You think of Pure. You think of some of these other oppers. You know, you think of Europe, you got Durka. You got some of these other guys, right? But Scream popularized using Jet as a rifler for Team Liquid prior to some of their roster moves. And so Asuna is a guy who is very comfortable being that pure entry fragger. If you've heard interviews from him, he is very dedicated to being that role for his team. And so, yeah, maybe he's not the known sniper, but you put a rifle in this guy's hands, the guy's fearless, and he's accurate. And so, you know, he can wield those daggers just as good as anyone else on the Jet. And so I think it's neat that 100 Thieves are kind of using him in that way. Again, I think he kind of is that North American counterpart to Scream on using him as a Jet and the value you can get out of a rifling Jet.
I'll say this much as well. Asuna is one of those guys that really makes me feel my age. Like, just watching him snap, I mean, his sensitivity has to be through the roof. And he still finds ways completely cracked out to make it look like it's another day in the park, including that last little 1v1 inside of the B window where it's just like he's looking all over the place and still connects with 2 knives to get the kill. It's unbelievable. These kids these days, tell you what. 4-2 the tally. After the tactical pause, I have to assume from Noble's POV, they're to come to battle with just an Ares and a Phantom, trying to do what they can to put some punish in. But Asuna, you want to talk about entry fragability? There it is, exemplified as he finds the first kill.
Yeah, again, the guy's fearless, and when you have, you know, the Sky to help him get into angles, you have the Sova to get into as well to help him feel confident and having less to be responsible for as he takes point, it really kind of just allows Asuna to be optimized in that aggressive role. And again, big entry to get them a quick 5-on-4, already 2 rounds up. Haven't committed to anything just yet. Definitely still keeping presence on middle. They're threatening B with the Sky, so they're definitely, you know, keeping their options open and making it hard on Noble to kind of know what to do. They're kind of gambling on this A stack right now, which may or may not work out for them. It just kind of depends on what 100 Thieves decide to do here. Is again, they're doing a great job, like clearing everything else out. They're flashing B. They just trailblaze garage. You know, they're being really active across the map despite being gathered on the A side. But at the end of the day, it looks like they're still going to run into the stack.
And I love this from 100 Thieves. They're essentially sitting here saying, you make the first move, Noble. We'll see if you get tested. B-Dog up top finds 1 precision a second. Asuna took a little bit longer on the kill than we would normally expect, but still, the numbers favor 100 Thieves. And Payan has to retake with it. Ares finds 1, and if he holds down the trigger, maybe we consider a 1v2, but Hiko takes the delayed swing, finds the elimination, and now it's 5 rounds in a row for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, really well done there by Hiko to just make sure he spaces perfectly, to not be a lineup, but also to be able to very quickly trade in. There was no utility needed there for Asuna. He just dashes on in, taking out Leviathan with that Phantom. My goodness.
That's nuts, man.
There are a few entry riflers in NA as scary as Asuna when he's on form. Like, when he's feeling confident and he's got his groove going, he is one of the most deadly entry fraggers in the region.
Is that one of those things where you say he's top 2 and not 2 in the conversation pool?
I don't know. Like, obviously, there's some other really great aggressive riflers out there. You know, Tens obviously would come to mind
Right,
as
for
one of
sure.
those guys who can also be like that rifling jet, but also deal with the op as well, of course. And there's a few others you would throw in there as well.
Well, Hiko's going to find that this
Victor.
C site is widely open, but there is still some utility lingering here for Noble's defense, of which they're going to need to use this very efficiently if they're going to retake. Trailblazer will clear out C garage, and Noble will realize they do have a couple of points of contest eventually, but this is going to have to be a clean retake.
That's a great start, though. Leviathan finds Nitro right away. There's a Hunter's Fury, though, for 100 Thieves, which is tucked into long C. And so unless they can pry that, it's going to be something they constantly have to worry about as they try to retake this site.
No one's going to check for steal. No one's checking for steal. He's going to find 2, no problem whatsoever. I love that call from 100 Thieves. I mean, it's so regular that we see post-plant setups where everyone just locks down long, but this time a couple of contestants early. Payan has actually gotten this to halfway. Hiko going into the Hunter's Fury will find some damage but no kills. And now, all of a sudden, the spam shot's coming out. Noble, they could very well do this. Payan's going to be stuck on this. Get down, Mr. President. Everyone just body blocks for him. And Noble will get a successful retake after what you thought was going to be a really easy hold for 100 Thieves due to the tools and the positioning they still had.
Yeah, I think Hiko had to go to the Hunter's Fury sooner than he wanted to, and he kind of burnt through the arrows faster than he probably would have liked, right? Normally, you kind of want to stall those out a bit, but he had to be in the constant fear that someone might run him down. He only had one person covering him. Yeah, that was definitely just, I think, things going a bit faster than 100 Thieves wanted them to go. Even Woodsteel getting some great kills in Garage and making you feel like that was going to give them the upper hand. At the end of the day, they were able to clear Steel out with the showstopper, able to get control of the site, get man advantage, and then put Hiko in a tough spot. Like, did he have to pop it that soon? Did he have to shoot the arrows that quick? Like, you could definitely cause some questioning there, but at the end of the day, just Noble able to overwhelm with their man count. Particularly that kill from Leviathan early to give them that quick man advantage. And they just kind of carried that through even with Steel's 2 kills.
All right, so we're in a little bit of a technical pause situation coming forward here, so we'll take a second to kind of tally the first 8 rounds in total. Initially, Noble, great stuff when it comes to defending, and especially on their retakes through the lesser economical rounds that we had to start things off. Dry spell for 5 straight rounds, but then, again, retakes starting to find some favor. Happy with what you've seen so far from Noble when it comes down to how this defense is played?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like even though we've gone through a lot of rounds, I feel like at this point, if you're Noble, it's probably hard to figure out like how to adjust. Like, I feel like they've been forced into a scenario where 100 Thieves' C attacks have been so explosive and so successful with how they layer those jet smokes, the Omen, the Sky Flashes, you know, the Sova Recon Dart, that they're feeling like they have to kind of play retake C. And honestly, Haven's always kind of been the pick your poison map, right? It's so large. There's 3 sites. You kind of have to decide where you want to play retake at and what you want to, you know, fortify and stack a little bit more. That's why you're seeing a lot of teams maybe be a bit more A heavy or mid heavy with aggression and then kind of leave C open and just play for retake. And honestly, what we're seeing is that their retakes are usually pretty good. Like, they've either won their retakes or they've been like maybe just one unlucky like maneuver behind or something like that, where it feels like they still certainly had a foothold in, but just happened to lose like one key duel that unraveled everything. So to me, I don't think they really have to change too much. And for 100 Thieves, I feel like they're the type of team that has a deep playbook, and if things start going wrong, they can quickly pivot to something else. Like, you know, they've shown their ability to be explosive on both A and C. They've been keeping the pace up quite a lot lately, but they're definitely the type of team that has the good team play discipline to slow it right back down whenever they feel they need to, and just play out a default, get some map control, then kind of be reactionary from there. But as we see, it's not going to happen this round. We're looking at this pry open C yet again.
Quick take once more from Asuna. Behind him, Nitro teleporting in. Gonna get the plant down successfully. Deep into the site. Still watching the flank is going to be Steel, and for Noble, there are some tools here to try to retake this. You got the Hunter's Fury plus the Cosmic Divide, and if you find any kills, the neural theft could be massive when it comes to laying out the land. But the unfortunate thing is Asuna is still holding on close, has found first blood. Hunter's Fury forced to come out now. Cosmic Divide also trying to split the site up into two. As Payan finds one, Payan will take down the second, looking for a third, Payan for three. 2v2 situation. The neural theft has confirmed the information on where 100 Thieves are positioned, but Leviathan and Payan are stopped right there, only finding 3, and 100 Thieves successfully hold.
Yeah, I think the two big things there was that Steel struck before the neural theft's impact could really set in on his position at the garage doors, right? He's able to come in, get a kill or two before being alerted. And the other big thing was is that Hiko hits a sick dart on Payan through that garage hallway. And so it gives, in the 2-on-2 that remain, 100 Thieves knowing exactly where Payan's going to be, exactly when he can peek. It means he has to stop and pull the dart out if he so chooses, or he has to just constantly be, giving his position over to his opponent. So 100 Thieves, just strong attack, really good follow through. They get themselves a 6th round. And now look at this.
Flat on aggression again from 100 Thieves. First look we've had over towards B. ZK is defensively in the back towards Gong, but the spike will still go down. Asuna getting information. Oh, my goodness. ZK instantly deleted. And for Noble, trying to work their way around through a long, they're going to be tested as Hiko actually backs right up into a shock dart. He will have to reconsider what happens here in the back. Steel there to assist. Nitro closed through garage.
My God.
And Asuna still doing Asuna things. Finds the second. It's up to precision, 1v5. See if you can find maybe a kill or two at best. And well, I mean, Asuna's chasing it down. Yeah, he's going at him with a knife. He's got 2 knives remaining.
Feed him.
Hits it. Why not? 3 for Asuna.
Listen, if there was ever any suspicion, like, I wonder how good Asuna will be on this jet that he's been picking lately. Well, I think he's starting to answer some of those questions. Because I feel like if you're a duelist and you've constantly been playing agents like Phoenix and Reyna, mastering Jet's mechanics is a learning curve, right? It's definitely a different set of abilities that you have to learn how to maximize. Yeah, you could say the same thing about Raze's, boost packs and how to maneuver with her with that. And learning how to maximize the showstopper. Like, yeah, sure, there's a learning curve to that too, but Asuna's really taken to this jet.
More aggression. I mean, this is Asuna with the spike, just running right on in. No need to dash, no need to smoke, just plant. And this is putting so much pressure onto Noble.
I feel like he's planning faster than Noble can communicate that he might be
what's
planning.
happening. Yeah, so true. So true.
Like, hey, guys, he's playing. Oh, yeah, never mind. You know now.
This is a very similar retake situation from the previous round. The only difference being that the weaponry is going to be a little bit better. Precision, B-Dog, able to combine for 3. 4v2 situation, Hiko is going to be tested here. Last shock dart now spent. Coming quickly as Payan, but falls just as fast as he tried to make the play through window. So is Precision, and Hiko finds a 3rd. Noble, no way. Hiko finds 4. And it was just 1 by 1. They came through the dark cover, and Hiko says, okay, thanks.
They so thought that he was just going to continue to line up shock darts that they would just keep pushing him and catch him with his pants down, essentially. And they never did. The guy had his rifle out the whole time, and they just kept feeding him. And the thing is, I will say this, when you post plant B and all your players are middle or window, that is a very precarious position to be in, because you can get easily boxed out if you don't have things like Hunter's Fury or shock darts or snake bites, or the case may be, to push people off that spike defusal. Normally you kind of want to have someone at least in garage or back B site that kind of give you multiple ways to defend the site. And so I was a bit concerned that 100 Thieves might be in trouble because they were being boxed out like that. But I mean, Hiko gets fed. And then obviously you got Steel, who can spam with the Odin through the wall as an added, bonus. And I mean, they just kept doing this to the guy. It's like, oh, hey there, what's up? Oh, hi there. And then, yeah, you got Steel doing this.
Last player standing.
Unreal. Hiko finds the final 4. I mean, the second one, honestly, though, I mean, he does barely get that reload off. Like, you saw him as soon as he got the first call into Payan. Like, he had to go to the reload, and the second challenger just barely not able to get there in time to find the trade. And then we could be talking about a different outcome, but that's been kind of the case throughout the entirety of this first half. Noble's retakes, when they were successful, narrowly were that. 100 Thieves holds for the large majority of their post plants, save the previous round where they had Noble on pistols. Also,
it just feels like 100. It feels like 100 Thieves are speed running Valorant right now.
Yeah,
like how quick can we plant? And I mean, to their credit, they're like guaranteeing that they're gonna have these 5-on-5 retakes because they keep finding the site vulnerable early. They plant quick, and then they just go to their post-plant protocols right away. And they've been very successful. And again, it's no surprise Haven, has been a pretty good map for 100 Thieves. It's not their best map by any means. Again, I think like Ascent, Icebox, those are the kind of maps that come to mind when I think of like 100 Thieves and their success. They seem like an early adopter of Breeze. They've already won it twice throughout this qualification process. Sure. So it seems like they're already kind of adopting that into their map pool as well. But yeah, coming into Haven, again, it's a map that when they have lost, it's always been dangerously close to top opposition, like fellow top 5 teams, basically, right? Like a Sentinels or like an Envy. And all those games were, down to the final round or down to extra rounds. So, again, very much a big part of their map pool is Haven. And they're showing you why. And then, again, they're adding some extra flavor to it, right? Prior to this qualifier, when you go back to, like, April and you go back to some of their other stuff, they're really relying on Asuna on that Phoenix and his run it backs and things like that. Now, they had started implementing Sky towards the end of last stage with Ethan, but it had, again, still only recently become kind of a main part of their Haven composition. Prior to that, they're relying on, like playing a Sage or something alongside the Phoenix of Asuna rather than having a Sky in play. So, yeah, now that you're seeing Asuna, getting onto a Jet and seeing him be able to have impact, I feel like this really kind of just makes you have to kind of reconsider this team a little bit and like what they have in store.
Absolutely. I think, if anything,
this is only Asuna's second time playing Jet in an official match, by the way.
Thank you. I was just about to bring that up.
93 games of Raze, 55 games of Reyna, and 53 games of Phoenix.
Yeah. I was about to say. So
what is that? Like 215 games of other duelists that weren't Jet, and then 2 games of Jet.
Yeah, it's one of those things that for 100 Thieves, and I think for the conversation pool for a lot of the top teams in North America is how can we try to push the ceiling a little bit further up? And this feels like one of those moves that, again, just kind of slightly, if not maybe even a little bit more significantly that I'm leaning in towards, makes 100 Thieves potentially that much better of a total squad. Nitro, again, a quick takeover towards A this time, gets the spike planted? No, backs away for just a small moment as Noble there starting to really showcase that, yes, we are here with numbers and LMGs galore from the high ground. Leviathan trying to find advantage, trying to take down Ethan, not quite able to get the kill, and all the meanwhile, again, the spike has not been planted yet, and these LMGs are really going to work, but even still, 100 Thieves still find first blood.
What is happening?
Unbelievable.
They were so dedicated to the cause of trying to get info on the players under Heaven and spamming them with these Odins and whatnot, and they just never quite made it work. Now they have to try to retake a man behind, trying to blast their way in, but Asuna continues to tee off.
And it's just down to precision. Would have to 1v2 to save the round. Steal, good camera in play. Pico, long peek, no problem. And I'll say initially, that's just another moment where you look at 100 Thieves and their decision-making and say, oh, we're not safe to plant yet. Wait, back up and let's see what we're dealing with before we actually commit.
I don't have an actual figure, and I know that doing math live is always very risky as a commentator. We know this all too well.
Yes, we do.
But I feel like once you get past like the pistol and some of those initial rounds, how many 5-on-5 post plants do we have this game? It had to have been at least like 5.
Yeah, it's close to, if not at that number, yeah.
If not more, yeah. Like it's like there was one at B for sure. This is like the second one at least I saw on A, and there was at least 2 I remember on C. And there may have been more in there. So yeah, I'm thinking at least 5 or 6 of those last, 10 rounds were 5-on-5 post plants, and only 1 retake came.
But we'll see. So we get right back into the mix. Again, the match medic will allow Dicey to come right back in, even including the same score that you had from before. So 100 Thieves up 9-4, and already defensively showing a lot of aggression right back in the middle of the map again.
Yeah, Paranoia comes through. Asuna jumps in with it, trying to collect, but does get caught by Precision, who's rating. Dicey also going to get found out there, trying to use a guiding light to get forward. Now Nitro through the window push, good for 1, but again, quickly traded back. Noble seemed to have everything under control.
And we need to remember that this was, again, a pistol round loss for 100 Thieves. So this is why you're kind of seeing them on the eco against the SMGs. And yeah, Noble's going to get the plant down at A successfully. Leviathan lurking behind the play, just seeing if he can maybe clean up these last 200 Thieves members. Steel is holding a corner, does see information on it, but has to go to the reload. And that will actually confirm that Hiko also is right next door. And you can very quickly see Nobles coming back to try to deal with this. And for 100 Thieves, it's just maybe you can find an extra kill or 2. Not really a chance for a full retake here.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot that 100THIEVES could really hope for in this round. Had very little to work with. Had to just try to, throw a haymaker out there, hope that it landed. It didn't. It was slipped by Noble, who will then be able to collect with the rifles now on the bonus. And we do have an op on Asuna. Okay. Interesting. Can't wait to see that. Rifles for everyone else. The Phantoms being the rifle of choice for most players, especially on the defensive side. Every now and then you'll see some Vandals on attack.
And I'm just really curious how aggressive Asuna wants to get here with this operator. I mean, we've already seen that as the entry man of the offense, aggression was the name of the game. So I'm really curious to see if, right now, obviously, he's just watching over the top of this smoke right over towards C long, but in the future, I'm just really curious to see if he's going to try to an advanced position early.
Yeah, Steel trying to get advanced here inside Sewer's position. Does spot out Payan, does a little bit of damage. Asuna rotates the operator to the back of B, gonna get hit by the paint shells, able to still get behind the site, but in a lot of trouble now as an Owl Drone coming in. We'll find him out any moment now. Actually didn't spot him. I'm sure they have an idea that he's probably there. Dice, in the meantime, trying to help things along by shutting down the Trailblazer and kind of helping Asuna feel a bit more safe in the back of the site. Get some regrowth as well. So, being a selfless teammate. Or seeing Asuna go back even before 100THIEVES.
But efficiency from Dicey so far, 100% of the sky.
Yes.
But really good, I would just say, generally speaking, because 100THIEVES were going to be in a really dangerous spot trying to hold things on. Now, all of a sudden, as Steel has found first blood, that's actually mid-map away from this play. Nitro has been tagged, at least for a moment, uses the Shrouded Step to seek out the high ground. Steel has found a second kill mid-map. And Noble are rotating away from this play. There's not a lot of time to get this rotation all the way to A. There's a trap wire waiting for them, too.
Yeah, Nitro just did such a great job stalling them at long C with the smoke, with the paranoia, and the spam, forcing them backwards. Their B, pinch maneuver got caught there by Steel. Now they have to pivot back to A, but there's two players here defending. And Cage is still going to make it harder for them to push through Sewers.
Oh, but ZK does find one elimination. Hiko up top. Cannot necessarily deny the spike plant, so just the nick of time, Noble get themselves a 3v4 look at the round. Hiko still holding onto the Owl Drone, going to try to use this to move forward. Recon Bolt will reveal that the defense is heavily stacked towards heaven, but doesn't stop Nitro from finding one kill. Dicey trying to work from the low ground, not quite able to find anything there. 3v2 we go. Hiko on for the low ground. Sees ZK on the back, but the full rotation up top. Have they read this? Leviathan, he's going to have to come down and challenge this. Asuna's already found this to halfway, and Hiko and Nitro combine for the eliminations, and 100THIEVES will secure the retake and go up 10-5.
Is it just me, or does it feel like that Cosmic Divide wound up being more of a
hurt than it helped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't a crazy person.
Yeah, I was going to say that for you to break down, because...
yeah, it just seemed like, because then the Heaven player would have had that wall, it would have blocked him from seeing Spike.
Yep. Oh, not that, you wouldn't be able to see it from the Heaven anyway, but you don't get to see what's floating around the backside of this that Spike, so yeah, I agree.
Back onto full buy for both teams now. 100THIEVES up 10-5. Asuna sets up the op at Sewers. Didn't get caught by that blip.
There.
Oh, this is good intel, though. Trailblazer denied early means that you should know for a fact that indeed Garage is vulnerable here defensively for 100THIEVES, and they're going to back up and even rotate a couple members through B to see if they can help deal with this.
Yeah, Dice able to escape at least back into the back of the site here. Trying to stay alive. Nitro there on the platform to try to help him out as well. Nitro good for one, but does fall to Leviathan. Still not able to get that spike comfortably down on the site just yet. And again, Dicey's still lingering around in his own right in the site.
Oh, the Hunter's Fury tags a B-Dog, but he still finds the kill on the Steel. Okay, 1-for-1's not bad overall. Delaying the last shot would be done. Oh, okay. So Hiko delays it, but Dicey's does still find two as he never gave up a position mid-map. Precision with the Seekers out. I think he was trying to heal himself, yes.
I think he was too, but unfortunately that's not possible.
So now it's Precision for the 1v2. Last guy in light comes out, finds Asuna, but Hiko around the back. Trailblazer to come out. That'll gain a little bit of space. Gets the information plus the stun. Hiko going to still stick for the defuse. Gets this to halfway. Does he hold for the rest of the time? No. Backs away from it. And Precision forced to take the challenge, but Hiko beats him on the angle. Clutches up the 1v1, and 100THIEVES go up to 11.
Yeah, that was a lot. I mean, Dicey does a really good job playing safe by the plat, getting his 2 kills. Obviously, a great Hunter's Fury there from Hiko. Great 1v1 clutch to get it halfway and then win the 1-on-1 duel. Tough watch Precision try to heal himself with the regrowth. Not what you want to see. But I didn't really have too much of a factor on the round, to be fair. It's just kind of funny. Just kind of one of those things you kind of ha-ha, chuckle at. As they buy up all that they can here. Includes a couple Spectres and a Bulldog. And obviously this doesn't go well. They have really no money left. Will be forced to buy what they can in what could be the final round of the game at that point. So, tough round here for Noble.
Even tougher.
Yep.
The heck of a shot from Austin.
Spike down in window as well.
Yes, it is. Oh, it was just behind, actually. Pan's
Oh,
able to collect that. Okay. But still, 5v4 situation. Noble needs to find a way to respond. Seekers will come through, and Nitro looks like he maybe just wants to follow up off that information. Was considering it for a moment, but the guiding light will come through, and that will actually stall out this play for Noble mid-map. Asuna not quite able to find ZK, so 4v4. Showstopper very quickly for B-Dog. I don't know if he's seen anything, but throws it out. Does connect onto Hiko, taking him down to just below half health. So at least some damage was confirmed, but that seems like a missed cue to not get a kill.
Yeah.
Potential and steal on the backside will actually continue to trap Noble mid-map.
Yeah, I feel like you were going to use that to either take space onto the site or get a kill, and it did neither of those things. So definitely not getting a lot of value out of that. But Leviathan and company still able to start scoring this site. Nitro in a really tough spot right now as his teammates are falling all around him. And now he's actually having to worry about them pivoting somewhere else, but he actually is able to ult into a site, so he'll be here in time. Oh my goodness.
He's heard Pan too.
30 seconds left.
Always going to B, and he knows it. He's going to be able to get in behind, perhaps. Oh, Dicey might get caught by B-Dog, though. That's the only real problem. But the spike gets stopped.
Spike
Oh
down,
my
B.
goodness, the
Last
clutch from
player
Nitro.
standing.
Now he knows for a fact, obviously, where the spike is down. Leviathan, the one to collect it, has to make this play. Shrouded step to the high ground. Nitro, have you just finessed this? Up top, he finds the nose from the last player in. No! Leviathan! Just as soon as he committed to the spike plant as well.
Yeah.
Just barely gets off into the nick of time to avoid the 1v3.
I mean, I don't care who wins or loses, but it would have been cool to see Nitro pull that off. You must admit. I think,
Absolutely.
unless you're just like the biggest Noble super fan, you're probably rooting for Nitro to pull that one off because that would have been an absolute sick clip. Doesn't quite happen though. Nice attempt. I mean, and now they will have to settle for pistols coming into this, and so the force up from Noble does pay off. They're still well behind, but at least they come into this round with a very big firepower superiority.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would think that, but it's SMGs and a couple of Bulldogs. Like, this is still a round that is good to feel confident because you have the extra survivability. You have to assume that there's also going to be a lot of utility on board, but honestly speaking, you take down one of these SMGs, collect it for 100 Thieves, still doable for a Thrifty compared to what you would normally expect this late in the half.
Plus with the neural theft, that'll give you maybe a little bit of added information if you can get the right pick. But I think with them only committing one sheriff to this, I think that there still should be like a clean sweep for Noble, you imagine.
Well, here comes the aggression, and Asuna wanted to go to the knives. Could not fully convert, and B-Dog finding the second elimination makes things much more convincing now for Noble. B-Dog blast packing his way in. Oh, doesn't quite hit the jump like he wanted to versus Hiko, but still wins the gunfight. And with that, Payan should have a free plant, and beyond that, Noble should also secure their 7th round.
Oh yeah, they definitely should have this one in the bag. At this point, only 200 of these members remaining in this 2-on-5. Really nothing to work with other than classics at this point. So yeah, this will indeed go the way of Noble. It'll be 7-11. 100 of these should be back to buying in the next round, however. Maybe even a chance for Nitro to try to get a little flanky maneuver here. But yeah, with that tripwire being there, the element of surprise has been taken away, of course. You know, for exits.
This is interesting, and this is a conversation that will definitely happen once we get in between the rounds. But if Noble go flawless here, you don't really have the ability of going into a bonus round this late. Like, you just drop all your SMGs and full purchase up because you can't go down 7-12, right? Like, that's going to be a really interesting decision from what Noble want to do from the purchase side of things.
Yeah, that is definitely a tough spot. I would think that you keep the Bulldogs, obviously. Maybe you upgrade the Spectres, but you really only can afford to do so on pay-in. So I imagine keeping the Spectres is just kind of a necessity at this point, just to have some reserve cash for that potential, you know, map point situation if it were to happen next round. So I think holding on to the Spectres is a must. Asuna will be able to get the operator back, rifles for everyone else. So let's see how this plays out. Asuna is again playing that top position on window. He's played here before. Ooh, that's a lot of intel
info
early on today.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure Noble, they've already used their tactical timeout. They would have loved to have had one here to decide what exactly do you want to do with this weaponry. But they do have a Hunter's Fury, which could be an opportunity to get them up close and personal, which is obviously where you want to be. Here comes the take. Steel sneaks on into a cyber cage, and Hiko runs Steel around the backside, just flank the play in full. And Noble, they just run right into the trap that 100 Thieves had set up.
Yeah, that cage play from Steel was magnificent. You could tell that that was very much designed. Oh, I love it. They just had such a great read with the intel early. Again, great use of the cage from Steel. You feel like that is definitely something that he's done before, that he's practiced, that he knows he wants to do to help maneuver around the site. And so this is it. Last chance for Noble. Have to win 5 in a row to force OT here. Early Hunter's Fury from Leviathan, trying to clear out some area towards A side. He did get a tag onto Hiko and does also tag Steel, but gets neither down.
It makes you wonder, though, with that damage confirmed, does Noble just rotate and say we've got ourselves an advantage here, not just by committing 5 numbers to get in there, but we also know we've got a health advantage. That seems to be the case, so.
Yeah, Aldron will lead the way. Trying to come in here and find something. It actually doesn't, though. Shock Dart from Hiko stops it from getting a dart off. Trailblazer also will run away from Steel.
Oh, boy. Showstopper coming through for B-Dog. Tosses it down to hell, finds Hiko. And Blind comes out. That'll be decent for Steel to be taken out, but Dicey's is in the site. Has already found a couple of kills. Guiding Light comes around the backside of the corner, but it's B-Dog who beats him on the angle to get the gun up, and now it's a 2v3 situation favoring Noble, who still have yet to plant. Payan finds a free angle onto Asuna, and it's just up to Nitro, trying to Shroud step his way into the site. B-Dog watching him teleport down, and Noble find their 8th round.
Yeah, Dicey almost had a nice little play there. Like, he got into the sight boxes, got a good guiding light around, just got blindsided before he could follow through, and I think Payan also got a flank through B side off to shut down any hopes at 100 Thieves coming back in. Now their money's back low again on several players. They could do a little bit of low buy here, though. So a Marshall will come out. Sheriff for Nitro. They have all Phantoms now on Noble, except for ZK, which he might also have one as well. Indeed he does. Never mind. And so now, you know, Noble have a shot at this. They have to win 4 in a row. That's going to be tough, especially with Hunter's Fury Neuro. That's still available for 100 Thieves whenever they so choose to use it.
Asuna actually gets here freely. I mean, the Dart didn't actually tag, but it looks like Noble have read that this is aggression from 100 Thieves through a long.
I mean, God, so, everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. It's going to be a free take for Noble here. They'll realize this pretty quickly that no one is here at C, but the sooner the better when it comes to trying to set up this post flank, because the full flank is essentially just a snake through the middle of the map.
Yeah, this is wild. It's one of those rock, paper, scissors battles. Unfortunately, 100 Thieves lost it initially, but maybe they can still try to cause a ruckus here.
Payan beats this. First kill comes through. Leviathan the second. Paranoia didn't connect on the large majority of Noble members that are in this position. Steel's trying to fight this one from Garage, but he's going to be by himself, not going to find a kill, and Noble threatening a flawless round to go to 9. Hiko, not really much you could do besides watch this round come to a conclusion, maybe force a repurchase or 2 at best, but not a great situation. All of a sudden, 100 Thieves, who are looking so good on the offense, have ran into a bit of a brick wall here defensively.
Still overall looking quite strong for 100 Thieves. Still out 3 rounds, now back into the money. Asuna's been serviceable with that operator. Definitely been great with the Jet generally. Dicey's not been bad filling in here last second. Definitely had a couple of big moments. He's also 1 away from Seekers. Nitro 1 away from his ult. Very good at putting it to use as well. So definitely still some tall mountains to climb for Noble to get this into overtime, but they've gotten a couple of rounds. They're getting closer. Starting to, you know, figure out some ways to get some map control, get some picks. But Asuna, look at this guy. All the way down, see it. It'll free up a rotation if he can get a pick, or at least just holds ground for longer. Doesn't fall for the bait on that first shot. I mean, Noble are just so far back on the map, though. They're really not gaining anything right now.
And the only thing that you have going right now is the fact that you really only spent some trap wires. There hasn't been a lot of
Yeah.
information gathering tools, so a late take is okay, but they're going to use a lot of the Soviet utility to do that, including the Aldrin,
Yeah.
which just expired without
Got
even
nothing.
clearing bottom. Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
even
I
get through
know.
sewer.
That is a travesty. Like, again, like you said, they just didn't get anything. They gave up so much map control early. They didn't get any forward space anywhere. And as you said, they've used utility and they've gained nothing for it. Aldron's already off the table. Yeah, they still have recon bolt for the site, but it's going to come down to basically just brute forcing. And to be fair, 100 Thieves haven't been productive anywhere else other than Austin's forward angle at Seaside, so no one's really started to rotate yet. So it's still two guys just basically playing retake A.
Steel actually gets a lot of damage into B-Dog right down A main. Regrowth will come through for precision. Spike planted. Noble stole at the Natural Divide. Will use that now. That will cut off the play from Heaven and also forward point of content through the B link. Payan holding the very day one corner. He'll be scouted out by that. Cloudburst comes through first. Austin wants to go right on in. Try to isolate this elimination and does find information. Hiko able to find two at the Hunter's Fury. Steel gets the third in the mix. It's up to Leviathan to try to hold things down with precision, who with the entire time played through hell. Oh boy, a little windy in the backside of the site as Hiko turns, finds the kill, and 100 Thieves after some interesting interactions with Ethan having to back out.